This is Nasha Kasha, Ukrainian Almanac. 28 minutes of stories about Ukrainian life. I'm your reporter, Stefan Andrusiak. Nasha Kasha comes to you from Radio Western in London, Ontario, Canada. It is heard on 13 university and community radio stations in 8 provinces, from Newfoundland to British Columbia. Vitayu vas, dorogi sluchachi. Welcome. This is episode 141. Holy Trinity Ukrainian Orthodox Metropolitan Cathedral. It stands at 1175 Main Street in Winnipeg. Passers-by hear the sounds of bells ringing every noon hour. Back on July 15, 2016, that ringing was silenced for a while. Only the night before, someone had entered at the back of the church, set vestments on fire. When it was all over, damage totaled more than $1 million. 15 stained glass windows had to be replaced. Delicate artwork had to be cleansed of soot. 2 icons were destroyed. The arsonist escaped. No one actually rings bells. That sound comes from a recording. But firefighters had to shut the electricity off. The sound system fell silent for a while. In Eastern Christianity, the iconostasis, Ukrainians call it an ikonostas, is a wall of icons and religious paintings separating the nave of the church from the sanctuary. Today in the North Winnipeg Cathedral, all but the iconostas has been restored. Church services no longer have to be held in the basement, and the bells, they are sounding again. Bandurist Chorus and Amazing Grace. 1779. Words by Anglican clergyman John Newton. Today, Nasha Kasha is all about grace, seasoned with age, the kind that keeps even a church fire in perspective. Indeed, there is much to rejoice about. The Orthodox Church in Canada has entered its 101st year of existence. The Orthodox Church in Ukraine has been granted what's called a Tomus, which is to say that it is now recognized as self-governing. So, in the Winnipeg Cathedral's hall, where the card game may be called whist, the mood is far from wistful. It's downright giddy.
I'm Taras Monastersky. I run the seniors program at the Cathedral, and we meet every Wednesday. And sometimes we play cards, but most of the time we have speakers.
Okay.
And over here's a picture, John. Ivan? Stefan. We had a golf tournament in September. So we go to our friend's cottage, and we had 45 people out for golf.
That's a nice picture.
It is a nice picture. So there's 20 playing golf, but the other group came for a barbecue.
Okay, it's a seniors club. How old do you have to be here?
Well, if you're retired and you're vegetating at home, come on out.
Okay.
My name is Ann Hostash, and I love playing cards.
Did you grow up in Winnipeg?
No, I didn't. I grew up in Rossburn, Manitoba.
What made you decide to settle in Winnipeg?
Yeah, I don't know. We just got married and we moved to Winnipeg.
Do couples play at whist? Are you?
No, we move around. We start out as a couple. I started out with my husband, but then we move around depending whether you lose or win. The winners move, the losers stay.
So have you been moving? Is this a winner's table?
No. Well, yes, there are winners here, but these are losers. And we don't play again. We have to you have a different partner every time.
Дякую тобі за те, що ти завжди зі мною. І навіть так, як і я хотів, іде без бою, але й без непотрібних слів. Дякую тобі за те, що ти завжди зі мною. Я живу не так, як всі, як за стіною, але з любов'ю на душі. Дякую тобі за те, що ти завжди зі мною. І може я твоє дитя, але з тобою я світу дам нове життя. Я світу дам нове життя.
What kinds of things do you discuss around the table? What's important to you these days now that you're retired?
See how many tricks we can take.
Socializing mostly. To do here.
What is the importance of the church in your community?
I says, the church means the world to us. I've been here since 59, and I was president for 9 years.
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, Walter Manulak from Oakburn. Close to Rossburn, yeah. Since 59, right. So I spent a lot of time here.
What does a president do?
Well, he runs the parish. The parish. We had a lot of renovations. Put new windows and all the icons. A lot of work.
This cathedral has been here. This cathedral.
46.
Oh, since 4. But this looks like a newer building than 46.
Well, yes, I know, but they started with the basement, and then they built. We had services here, church services, and then they built the top, and then we moved there. And then 2 years ago we had a fire, so then we had to move back here. In July of 2017, we moved back to the church.
How do you bounce back from a fire? It was set, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah.
I prompted.
Okay. Yeah, she prompted.
That was Father Edward Danilo Ivanko and the Alexander Koshitz Choir, Vladiko Neba I Zemli, Lord of Heaven and Earth. A former television star, concert performer, Father Edward came to the priesthood later in life. He passed away in Winnipeg in November of 2018. You also heard Okean Elsie singing Dyakuyu Tobi. It goes on to say, I thank you just for wanting to be here with me. And I, personally too, thank you for listening. This is Nasha Kasha, Ukrainian Almanac. We come to you from CHRW 94.9 FM on the campus of Western University in London, Ontario, Canada. Also on CHMR 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland. CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. Local 107.3 FM in St. John, New Brunswick. CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal. CFRC 101.9 FM in Kingston, CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton, CKMS 102.7 FM in Kitchener-Waterloo, CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, CILU 102.7 FM in Thunder Bay, 101.5 UMFM in Winnipeg, CFMQ 98.1 FM in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan, and we'd like to welcome first-time listeners on 101.7 CIVL FM in Abbotsford in British Columbia's Fraser Valley.
Bill Ostash, a member here at the church, retired. I have been retired for 37 years.
So were you born and raised in Winnipeg?
No. I come from Bertle, and my wife comes from Rossburn.
What did you do before you were retired?
We were in the service station business, gas business, just strictly gas and oil sales.
In which part of Manitoba?
In Winnipeg here, right beside where the North Main Drive-In Theatre was. We went under Willie Ann Enterprises Limited. We took the station over when nobody wanted it because it was too far out of town in the early 60s, and we sold out in 81. We were the third largest in Western Canada in sales.
Which brand?
We were Golf. And I give all the credit that we have to a fellow by the name, Jewish guy by the name of Dave Kaufman. He started us off in business. And he was terrific with us.
Well, how did he start you off, and why was he terrific?
He pretty well forced us to take the station.
Was he with Gulf Canada?
No, he was he was son-in-law of Harry Silverberg, and Harry Silverberg owned Canadian Sportswear and Brown and Rutherford and Norland Building and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So he had the property?
He had the property, and He was very, very good to us.
How did he get your confidence? What did he tell you about the future of that gas station?
I worked for him for 5 years. And I guess he just liked what I did.
What did you do to make it profitable? You said there was a drive-in. How else did it become profitable?
Well,
all you sold was gas and oil.
And everything else that, whatever, we sold everything. It was profitable because at that time there was no Gulf Wars. And we lowered the price and nobody competed with us. So we sold gas for as low as 29 cents a gallon.
A gallon in those days.
In those days, right. So people would come from as far as St. James just to have a ride. And they'd always say, well, we saved on the gas enough to pay for it.
How far out of town was it?
Well, Northbank, it's about 10 minutes from here. So it's Red River Boulevard, right where Sobeys is now. And
so Winnipeg has grown up around it?
Oh, yes. Winnipeg has really, really grown.
Naročničok stati Oj na bilim sviti U zelenim liti Ići na gubajca Ne dostignem žiti Oj na bilim sviti U zelenim liti Ići na gubajca Ne dostignem žiti Oj na bilim sviti
I've played with him twice before and we lost.
Is he a friend of yours?
He's my husband, so I hope this time we win.
Is it easy to stay married at this game, being at this table?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So you don't take this game too seriously.
I've been married for too many years for that.
And may I ask how many?
I don't know. How many years?
This year will be 55.
There you go.
First husband for you?
Oh, yeah. He's English, I'm Ukrainian, so we get along great.
Why is that a good match?
Well, I don't know, because we're just different culture, and it's great. He can talk to me about his culture, and I can talk to him about mine. He loves Ukraine.
Are you from Winnipeg?
We spent 39 years in Thompson. We retired here. And we've been to Ukraine 10 times, because I found family there.
Which part of Ukraine do you go?
Western Ukraine. Ivano-Frankivsk.
How important is the church to you, to your life?
To me, it's important.
Have you thought a lot about it being 100 years in Canada?
Well, yeah. My dad came to Canada in 1904, and my mom came in 1911, so very religious.
Can you tell me your name?
Lauren Carpenter. I'm afraid I'm the Anglo in this crowd. So.
Why does that make you afraid?
So if you're looking for Ukrainians, I'm afraid I'm not the person to speak to.
You are the person to speak with because I'm interested in how you find the community. You've been to Ukraine quite a few times, I understand.
I have. I find it interesting, but one thing we should explain with these trips to Ukraine, right? We also go other places. We don't go straight to Ukraine. So I always get a little something for me too, okay? Like we go to Paris or maybe we go to Berlin or Copenhagen or something like that. So it's not just straight to Ukraine, okay? Because there's got to be something for me too. For Sylvia, when she goes to Ukraine, she speaks the language. I don't speak the language. Anything that'll do me any good, I can't remember.
Children?
Yes, we have 2 children. 2 son-in-laws, 2 daughters, and 2 grandchildren.
God love you. That's fantastic. I mean, 55 years, that's a long time.
Isn't that the truth?
But now you're going to be our speaker, Stefan.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Because we look for speakers, and I'm glad you came here.
Okay. Well, I leave tomorrow. So.
But I'm going to give you how much minutes do you want?
5 minutes.
I'll give you 10. Stefan, what's your last name?
Andrusiak. Listen. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Taras Monastersky.
Did you grow up in Winnipeg?
I'm a Winnipeg boy, yeah.
Yeah.
Born and bred in Winnipeg.
And a large family, small family?
No, I'm a singleton. I belonged to the cathedral here as a kid. Well, actually, there were other churches in Winnipeg before this was built. So I went to University of Saskatchewan to study my engineering, and I lived in Mohel Institute, and I graduated with engineering from Saskatoon.
What kind of engineering?
Civil engineering.
Civil, and you worked as a civil engineer
I did
in Manitoba?
In Manitoba.
Tell me the kinds of things you built.
Well, first of all, when I graduated, I worked for a consulting engineering company. But my first love was national parks, because as a student, I spent 2 summers in Prince Albert National Park. And when I graduated, there weren't any jobs with the government in national parks, so I worked for a consultant. But then an opening came available for 22 years. That was my last job with national parks. So when I went to a job, I went to a park. And the saying is, when you go to a park, you take pictures only and leave footprints and take pictures only. Not this guy. I picked Pete Pankia.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, well, everybody knows what Pete Pankia is. Mushrooms and cranberries. And I used to bring birchwood for my fireplace.
And from time to time, you even worked.
Well, no, we worked during the day, but we recreated during the evening.
Okay, so you're a civil engineer in a park, which is supposed to be uncivilized. What does a civil engineer engineer in a park?
Well, you have a park, but you have to have roads and facilities to enjoy the park.
Which national park?
I work for Prairie and Northern Region. National parks, in my territory, Prince Albert National Park and Riding Mountain National Park.
Do you know how lucky you are? So few people are able to start and finish in one place in their careers.
No, I didn't, actually. I started with a consulting engineering company.
But 22 years.
Well, yeah. But the joke is, my son says, Tato, how long have you been retired? 22 years. And how long did you work? 22 years. I was for the government. I got a beautiful pension. Anyway, Stefano, they're waiting for you to talk to them.
Okay, I will. How come you got stuck with being president?
I'm not the president.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm just sort of the chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty bossy.
Well, you have to be sometimes with these people.
People often ask me, what the heck is a zababa? It's not the kind of party that I go to with my baba. The music's kind of loud and the dancer's kind of sweaty. I'll tell you all about it, have a listen if you're ready. Head ahead moves, big sip, it's a baba. Lots and lots of booze, big sip, it's a baba. Good shows and good shoes makes a really good zababa. And a kick-ass band makes a great zababa.
My father came to Canada in 1928. And, of course, being from Ukraine, he didn't speak English too well. Eventually, he managed to get a job with the Winnipeg School Division. His specialty was concrete. Initially, he just worked in the summers doing concrete work. But he was such a good concrete man that the school board decided to keep me around because they didn't want to lose him. So in the wintertime, it was mostly drinking coffee with the custodians. At one time, furnaces were filled with crushed coal, and a stoker furnace would take it into the furnace. So crushed coal would be delivered to a school. The janitor would have to, every once in a while, stoke up the furnace. Now, there would be a shear wall sometime, and you had to be very careful because the shear wall could bury you. This one morning, my dad was having coffee with the custodian who went to fill up the stoker, and sure enough, the shear wall slipped and it buried the custodian. So my father dug him out, and of course, a workplace accident had to be a police report. So the police came. So my father was Omelian Monastersky, but they couldn't handle Omelian. So everybody in Winnipeg School Division used to call him Bill. So anyway, the policeman came and he said, "Sir, you dug this custodian out?" "Yes." "And what is your name, sir?" "Bill Monastersky." "And how do you spell it?" "B-I-L-L, stupid." That joke went through the whole school division. Everybody was calling me, "Did you hear about the Bill Monastersky joke?" So anyway, that's the story I wanted to tell you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, this is a Monastersky legend.
When there's a good zababa, all my friends are going. They all like something different, but to each his own. Me, I like the music, others like to dance, and some just want to drink and drink and drink and drink. Drink. Better and booze, make siblings of Baba, lots and lots of booze, make siblings of Baba. Those are big shoes, makes a really good Zababa, and a kick-ass band makes a great Zababa.
In addition to the songs already mentioned, you heard Дівчина купається by Montreal's Привіт. The Lamco region song Тиха вода was performed by Christina Solovey and the Kubasonics, cheeky as ever with Zabava.
Lots of good Zababa bands that you can go and see. Euphoria, Millennia, the boys from U&B, the Cimarrons, the Starlights, but really, let's be honest, the best ass kickers are the Better head booze, make siblings Zababa, lots and lots of booze, make siblings Zababa. Those are big shoes, makes a really good Zababa, and a kick-ass band makes a great Zababa.
Partial funding for Nasha Kasha comes from the Taras Shevchenko Foundation. Subscribe to our free podcasts or find us on Nasha Kasha's Facebook page. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusiak. До милої зустрічі за тиждень часу, дорогі слухачі.